I'm currently on a sabbatical and my first stop is Portugal. Welcome to my first day in Coimbra. Woke up that day to a strange hazy sky. Turns out that it was the Saharan dust cloud that had been blown to Portugal and is something that happens once in a while. We started the day off at Vénus, a wonderful bakery where I had a coxinha and a risole de camarão. Friends, I still think about that coxinha till this very day. Energized with delicious fried carbs, I was ready to start my tour of the Universidade de Coimbra. Enter again the best tour guide ever, Antonio, who happens to be an alumni of this prestigious university, so I got to get the inside scoop. For instance, the shredded cloth up there is a result of a drunken last graduation day, when the friends and family of the student rips their official uniform off and throws those strips of cloth up there. How scandalous. I've always thought my own university was quite pretty, but goodness, it wasn't World Heritage of the UNESCO pretty. It was founded by King Denis in 1290, which makes it one of the oldest universities in the world. The classical architecture is beautiful. The tower, the vast plaza overlooking on the valley, and the stunning 18th century Baroque Joanina library that unfortunately I couldn't take pictures of, but just imagine it was a lot of books and a lot of gold. Then there was the other section, the part that was built by Portuguese dictator Antonio de Oliveira Salazar, with architecture that was inspired by, what else, the Third Reich. There was also a multimedia part of the tour at the Coimbra Old Cathedral, offered by Dom Antonio, where I could see how the steps of the building transformed into a stunning musical stage for the Fado student groups of the university singing goodbye ballads, amongst other songs, to the graduating students in a crowded plaza. From there we walked down the quebra-costas, or back break, since I can imagine that if you slip and fall on these steps, your back will definitely break, to downtown Coimbra, where I took the opportunity to continue the custom I had started in Lisbon to capture all the vintage signage. We were even allowed a sneaky visit up to a rooftop to admire the view of the city. We then stopped by Café Santa Cruz, a cafe with history, housed in a former church where we had a coffee and their sweet that was unique to this cafe, the Cruzio. Based on an antique recipe, this delicacy used traditional ingredients such as sweet egg and toasted almond. We got to see a tuna, a group of university students in traditional university dress playing traditional instruments, perform their music and choreography. These ones were from the pharmacy faculty. The Escadas Monumentais would lead to the Asociação Académica de Coimbra, and from there we would also walk past the botanical garden where students could do their scientific researches, as well as the Arcos da Jardim nearby. After so much information and input, we unwound at the Pedro and Inês footbridge, where a lot of young students were immersed in many outdoor activities. Antonio and I would then engage in the outdoor activity we were best at, a little beer and some fried snacks, in this case some croquetes de aleira. For dinner we met with Antonio's lovely aunt and his friend also named Antonio at No Tachinho, where we had some wonderful red wine and I finally tried some cabidela, an infamous Portuguese rice dish cooked with chicken blood and vinegar so that the blood won't coagulate. It had intimidated me for quite a long while, but the verdict was, it's tasty stuff. It doesn't taste like blood at all, just a very thick, rich gravy. And that was my first action-packed day in Coimbra. Thank you for joining me.